Greetings, Commanders, Cerebrits, and Executors. In this episode, we are going to be talking about control groups. Control groups are a tool in StarCraft that helps you to control your units more effectively, to select things faster, and in so doing, to get easier control over the things that are most important for you to control in the game. The basic principle of a control group is pretty simple. The idea of a control group is you can save a particular selection of units so that you can reselect those same units later. If I select 4 Zerglings, I am now going to hold control on my keyboard and press the 1 key. Just pressed 1, and I release control. Now I can select anything else, and I've saved those 4 Zerglings to my number 1 control group. If I press 1 on my keyboard, I reselect those same 4 Zerglings. If I double press 1 on my keyboard, my camera is centered on those 4 Zerglings, and also I reselect them. I can select whatever else I want, I can go wherever else on the map I want, and then double press 1 and I have those Zerglings selected, and I have my camera centered on them. I can go anywhere else on the map, and I can just press 1 without double pressing 1, and I have those Zerglings selected again, but my camera is still where I originally had it. My camera is still in the same spot, I haven't moved it. Now this works for all the number keys, all 10 number keys on your keyboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0. So I've got these 4 Zerglings on control group 1. I could put these 4 Zerglings on control group 2 if I press control 2, and these 4 Zerglings on control group 3, control 3. So now if I press 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And I can center my camera on them as well. I'm going to move these Zerglings over here, and I just press 2, A, left click, 3, A, left click, and I've sent my little groups of Zerglings to 3 different positions. 1 is over here, 2 is over here, and 3 is over here. And if I double press 1, double press 2, double press 3, I can jump around to where those units are. There's a lot of things you can do with control groups. The most common and probably most useful purpose for control groups is that you can put different groups of your combat units on different control groups, as I'm doing right here. I've said before that the maximum number of units you can select at a time in StarCraft is 12, which makes it hard to move really big armies around, and Zerg especially have to deal with this because their armies tend to have a lot of units in them. But if I select 12 Zerglings, put them on control group 1 by pressing control 1, and then select another 12 Zerglings and press control 2, and I press 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, I can reselect these groups of Zerglings again, and now I can say 1A click, 2A click, and I just commanded both groups of Zerglings to head to this position. And that's a lot easier than boxing Zerglings, A, left click, box Zerglings, A, left click, box Zerglings, A, left click. You don't have to move your camera backwards and forwards. And you don't have to keep making new boxes every single time you want to move your army around. So I've got groups of Zerglings on control 1 and control 2. Let's put a group of Ultralisks on control 3. I've got 6 Ultralisks selected right now. If I press control 3, that's my 3rd control group. 1, 2, 3. But there are 6 more Ultralisks over here, and I want to add those to control group 3. There's still 6 more spots in control group 3 where I can put more units. And I can do this by selecting this Ultralisk and holding down Shift and then pressing 3. And now if I press 3 without holding Shift down to select everything that's in control group 3, there are 7 Ultralisks in it, including this one. So control number sets your current selection to be the contents of that control group. It overwrites whatever was in that control group already. But shift number adds your current selection to that control group, if there's room for it. The units you have selected right now will be added to that control group if they're not in it already. So if I select 2 more Ultralisks, shift 3. And now I press 3 to recall everything that's in control group 3. These 2 Ultralisks have been added to it. Select these remaining 3 Ultralisks, shift 3. Now all 12 of my Ultralisks are in that control group. Now, there's no fast way to remove units from your control group selection. There's no button that you press. If you do Alt-3, for instance, that's not going to remove the Ultralisks that you currently have selected from Control Group 3. If I want to remove some of these Ultras, if I want only some Ultralisks to be inside the Control Group, then I have to remove them from my selection. If you go watch the Details of StarCraft selection video, I talk about how you can remove things from your current selection by holding down Shift and clicking on them. So I've removed these 3 Ultralisks from my selection. Now I just press Control 3 again to overwrite what's in Control Group 3. And now when I press Control 3, it's still only these 9 Ultralisks. If I press 1, 2, 3, you can see that these 3 Ultralisks are no longer in Control Group 3 because I've saved new contents to Control Group 3. So you can create control groups by Control 4, and now these Mutalisks are on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or if I make this one Control Group 5, there's 5, 4, 5, 4. And there's 2 Mutalisks here that aren't part of Control Group 4. I'm going to add them to Control Group 5. I'm going to hold down, I'm going to select these guys, hold Shift, press 5, and now they're in Control Group 5. 4, 5, 4, 5. So control groups are very useful for a lot of things. The main use of them is army control, as I've already said. I can go 1 A-click, 2 A-click, 3 A-click, 4 A-click, 5 A-click. And now my whole army is heading to this one location. Easy way to move big armies around. But there are other purposes you can use control groups for. For instance, I could put my hatcheries on different control groups. 1, 2, Control 3, Control 4, Control 5. And now this is on, these hatcheries are on Control Group 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just by pressing the number keys so you can see that I have each of these hatcheries on a control group. That can be useful for rallying. I can move my camera over here and I can say 1, click, 2, click, 3, click, 4, click, 5, click. And I've just rallied all 5 of these hatcheries over to this location. Those were right clicks, by the way, to set rally points. There are other techniques for setting rally points, which we'll introduce in future videos. Something that control groups are really useful for, in addition to controlling all the elements of a large army that has more than 12 units in it, something else you can do with them is if you've got a particular unit that you need to be in a location far away from everything else you're paying attention to. This Overlord, for instance. Imagine the enemy base is in the top center, and I want to scout that enemy base with this Overlord. I'm going to set this Overlord to be Control Group 0. And now if I double press 0, I can jump to where this Overlord is. I can jump my screen to where the Overlord is by double pressing 0. So I can do whatever I'm doing. I can be building my units, I can be researching my upgrades, and then I want to check what's going on with this Overlord. Double press 0, let's have a look. And then I can jump back to my main base and keep going. So there are a lot of potential uses for control groups. We'll talk about more of those in a future video, but control groups are a really nice tool in StarCraft. You can use them however you want. There's a lot of things they can be